Hello all, welcome to the lecture series of AWS Cloud Architect. In the previous video, we have seen the concept of virtual private cloud and subnet. In this video, we are going to implement this concept, virtual private cloud and subnet. So I repeat, what is this virtual private cloud and subnet? Important. If two organizations, if they want to deploy their servers in the same data centers to avoid the security issues, we will go with this virtual private cloud concept. Assume there are two organizations, say Infosys and TCS. They want to deploy their servers in this region, North Virginia, in these three data centers. For example, in data center 1A, they want to have the web servers. In data center 1B, they want to have the application server. In data center 1C, they want to have the database server. So if all the servers are placed in the data center without any boundary, everybody can access others' data. To provide the security among them, we will wrap up all these servers with this virtual private cloud. So before putting or deploying a server, first a subnet will be created. Inside the subnet, multiple servers can be placed. Now all these subnets will be included in a specific or defined virtual private cloud. And in order to access the traffic from the outside the network, we need to create one internet gateway. By this gateway, traffic can be allowed inside this virtual private cloud. So within the subnets, all can connect each other by their local routing table. For exchanging the messages between these servers within virtual private cloud, you don't require this internet gateway. But if you want to send traffic from this virtual private cloud to the outside, and from the outside, if you want to allow the traffic inside this VPS, you require this internet gateway. Now let us see how this can be implemented through the Amazon Web Services. So this is the scenario. This is what we are going to do in today's session. First, create a VPC and name it as a Infosys VPC and assign an IP address like this. You can give any IP address, but the class should be either 16 or 24. I guess you know what is this network classes, IP address classes. There will be classes like a class A, B, C, D. Here 16 is nothing but here 10.1.0.0. 16 means you can have it allows the 255 multiplied by 255 number of machines. And here, after creating VPC, create a subnet for each of these servers. While creating the subnet, you have to enable this you have to assign this IP while creating this web server. And for each and every subnet, assign the IP address class something like this 10.1.1.0. So this class and this class should be in a same class. Here it is 10.1, here it is 10.1. Okay. Here it is 10.1, here it is 10.1. Okay, this can be varied. This subnet class is now again changed 10.1.1. Here this subnet class is changing 10.1.2. /24 means in this subnet you can place 255 number of servers in this. Okay. Here also 24 means here 255 multiplied by 255 multiplied by 25. That many servers you can deploy in this subnet 1. 255 multiplied by 255 multiplied by 250. That is 255 cube number of virtual machines you can place in this each and every subnet because class is 24. Here you can have 255 square subnets you can have in this VPC. Okay, you can assume how many number of virtual machines can be included if one VPC is created with this class. Now, after creating these three subnets and assigning the IP address class, we need to create internet gateway. For what? For accessing the traffic from the outside and for allowing the traffic from the virtual private cloud to the outside the network. So after creating this internet gateway, this gateway we need to attach to the VPC. Only one gateway you can attach to the one VPC. By default, there will be one VPC and there will be internet gateway that will be assigned by the Amazon Web Services itself. If you want to create your own VPC, for that VPC you need to attach your own internet gateway. This is not free, this is chargeable. Next, after creating internet gateway and attaching it to the VPC, we have to create the routing table. This routing table is again plays major role. So using this routing table, it acts like a signboard, because so whatever the definition that we will provide in this routing table, as per this route, the traffic will be diverse to each and every subnet. Okay, if there is no signboard, and we also cannot travel anywhere if we don't know the route. Okay, it acts like a signboard within that area. Assume you went to a big shopping mall and you want to purchase some XYZ product. If you are going the supermarket or big mall for the first time, you don't know which product is available at which location. So what we will do, we will ask an assistant of that shopping mall so that he will guide you. Similarly, here also, when any traffic or when any packet is arrived at that network, so to which location that packet has to be sent. So that will be defined in this routing table. Okay, so create a routing table, and in this routing table we have to assign the internet gateway as well as the subnet. We should not assign a default gateway to this routing table. If default gateway is attached to that routing table, it will become a public, so that everybody can enter into that virtual private cloud. Then after that, this already we know, we have to create a security group and we have to allow that traffic, means which port that we have to open and which traffic that we have to access, that has to be defined in this security group, like SSH, ICMP, HTTP, and MySQL port, whatever it is, whatever the service that you want to offer, as per that service you have to allow the traffic. Before that, you have to create a security group and you have to add all the traffic rules in that. Next, after that, we will deploy a virtual machine and we will try to access them. So this is what the case study that we are going to see in this video. Now let's start practically. So once you log in, as per this diagram, okay, I want to create two virtual private clouds. One is for Infosys, one is for TCS. In which region? In the North Virginia region. So I am in the North Virginia region. I want to create a virtual private cloud. So where to go? You can see the service, networking and content delivery service is there. Here click on this VPC. So once you place your mouse here, what is the objective of this VPC is displayed there. It is for isolating your cloud resources. Means all these components are get isolated. This is completely one isolated zone. This is completely an isolated zone. There is no relation with this zone and with this zone. So TCS cannot enter into Infosys. Infosys cannot enter into this TCS. That is what isolating the various resources. Click on this VPS. Okay, it is taking some time. Okay. If you need any additional information about VPC, you can see here. So what is the state of the current location. So in this North Virginia, all the data centers are operating normally. Okay, you can check this complete health status here. So we need to create the VPC. So where to go? Click on this first, your VPC. If any VPC already created, that will be listed here. Okay, this is the default VPC. Okay, for each and every account, a default VPC will be created in each and every zone. I want to have my own VPC for the Infosys. Means I'm going to create one network architecture for the Infosys. So create VPC, give the some name here. I will give it as Infosys VPC. Okay, and we have to assign an IP address for this VPC. Here you can see IP address that can be 10 dot with the class 16 or with class 74. No problem. 24. So I will give something like 10.1.0.0 and 16. Okay, means within this VPC you can have 255 multiplied by 255 number of subnets. Okay, how you want to have this VPC, whether default or you want to have a dedicated. So I will make it a dedicated default. If you want dedicated VPC, you can. So VPC is created. Okay, this is VPC now. Okay, now in this VPC we have to create. Now what we have to do, we have to enable the DNS host name. Otherwise, the DNS host name will not be assigned to you. How to do? Right click on it. Go to edit the DNS host name. Here you have to check this. Save. Close it. Okay, now in this VPC we have to create the subnets. So go to subnets. So right now there are no subnets associated or attached to that VPC. So what we did, we have created this outer border. Okay, now we will create this inside this subnet. Create subnet. Give the name. First I will create this web server for the Infosys. Infosys web subnet. Okay, I named it my subnet name as Infosys web subnet. In which VPC it has to be attached. So this is the default VPC, but I want to have this subnet in this Infosys. Okay, in which zone that you want to have this subnet? See, right now in Virginia there are 6 zones are there. So I want to place this subnet in this 1A zone. East, US East 1A. Okay. Okay. Now we have to give the IP address for this subnet. What should be the range? It should be 10 dot 1 dot. I will give 1 dot 0 slash 24. Why? Because see, our VPC address is 10 dot 1 dot, right? So this subnetting address is also start from this 10.1 on. As it is 16, you can have 250 by 255. In this 250 by 255 range, you can give that. Okay. Create. Subnet is created. One subnet is created in which zone? In US East 1A zone, it is created here. Yes. Okay, I will create one more subnet. I will give it as Infosys application subnet, where I will place all my application servers in which VPC Infosys. Again, I will give this 10 dot 1 dot 1 dot sorry 2 dot. Okay, I will give 0. Okay, in which availability zone? In 1B zone I will place it. Create it. Close. I have one more subnet. I will write it as Infosys for a DB subnet. Means all database servers I will place in this subnet. VPC Infosys is selected. Okay. What would be the range? 10 dot 1 dot 3 dot 0 will be. Okay. Next, go to this Infosys field. Okay. One second. Please hold a moment. I will run some other service not related to this topic. Okay, we'll continue. So we have this DB subnet in which one C zone, web subnet in the 1A zone, application subnet in this 1B zone. So here available IP4 in this region is 251. Means actually 256 you can, but for 5 IP address will be used by different purposes. One is for Amazon, one is used by AWS. That's 255. Last one will be used for the broadcast, and remaining will be for some other purposes. Sorry, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 will be used by the Amazon Web Services. 255 will be used for the broadcasting. 0 will be used for the network interface. Okay, means 251 multiplied by 251 number of servers you can deploy in this subnet. As the range is 24, so 251 to the power 3 number of servers you can deploy in this each and every subnet. So our second task also completed. So this task also completed. Next we have to create the internet gateway and we need to attach it to the VPC. How to create internet gateway? Here internet gateway is there. Okay, by default one internet gateway will be there. Okay, here we need to create our own internet gateway. Okay, how? Go to create internet gateway. Here give the name. I will give it as Infosys internet gateway. Okay, create it. Okay, it is created. You can see here. You go to internet gateway. So now, this is default. This Infosys internet gateway. Now it is detached. Means you just created this, but you have not attached this. You have to attach it. How? Select, create, sorry, you have to attach it now. Go to action, attach to VPC. Which VPC? You may have n number of VPC, but which VPC? Once you place your mouse here, it will display the available VPC. Okay, so there is only one VPC there, that is Infosys. You attach it. Attach internet gateway. Okay, internet gateway also attached. This one. This is also completed. Third step is completed. Now fourth step. We need to create the routing table and we have to assign internet gateway and subnet to it. Okay. Go to routing table. Okay. So there are these routing tables are there, default routing tables. Okay. But we need to have our own routing table. Create this route table. Give the name. I will write it. Infosys route table VPC. Which VPC? For this VPC. Okay. If you want, you can add tag also. No problem. Routing table is created. Okay. Now we have to add routes to this. You click here. Once you click here, you will see this tab here. Click on this routes. Okay. So by default, a local route will be there. Means 10.1.0.0. What is this 10.1.0.0? It is our virtual private cloud route. Okay. So means within this, if any packet is coming from this 10.1.1 series, everything will be diverted in that given virtual private cloud. If any packet is coming from 10.1, so that will be routed. Okay. But we need to allow it from the other network also. Okay. Before that, first associate. Okay. Add route from outside network. That is from other than this 10.1.0.1. If any packet is coming, that is also we should allow. Okay. So if you want to allow it from any other IP address, means for all the from all the IP address, the IP address destination should be this. What should be the target? In the target, you have to select the internet gateway. Which internet gateway? Infosys internet gateway. Okay. Means that if the traffic which is coming from that internet gateway by any IP address, that can be routed within this local. Within this local, we are having these three subnets. Means in this VPC, we are having three subnets. So the traffic can be first go to the first it will come from the internet gateway. In the from the internet gateway, it will verify. Okay. Then it will transfer to that VPC 10.1.0.0. Within that, three subnets are there. So as per the IP address of that packet, that will be routed to that particular subnet. Save it. Okay. Next, we have to add our subnets to this in this route also. So for this, click on this subnet associate. Okay. See the three subnets are there. Okay. Edit subnets. These three we have to add. Click here. Okay. One is app server, app subnet, DB subnet, web subnet. Okay. Save it. Okay. So three subnets are added in that route table. Okay. If one packet is coming from so and so IP address, some XYZ IP address that want to connect to the 10.1.3. How this will be verified? In the route table, already we have mentioned here 10.1.0.0.16. The packet is coming, packet needs to be transferred to the 10.1.3. So it is matching in this. Okay, 10.1.3. So that will go to the 10.1.3 series subnet. Within the subnet, again, web servers will be there. Okay, routes are over. Means this is completed. Okay, next let us create the security group and allow traffic. Let us create the security group. Where is the security group? Let us see the security group is there. Here already we have many security groups are there. We will create our own security group here. That is create a new security group. I'll give the name as Infosys security group. If you can write some description. Allows SSH, ICMP, HTTP. Means I want to allow this traffic on. Which VPC? We attach to this Infosys VPC. Means this security group we are attaching to this Infosys VPC. So within that VPC, this traffic we are allowing. Okay. That we have to add the rules here. One is SSH from anywhere HTTP from anywhere. Next, ICMP from anywhere. Okay, ICMP is for ping command, HTTP is for your web server, SSH is to secure shell connection. For remote connection, we can use it. Okay. Outbound rules, all traffic means from your network, you can allow the all type of traffic, that may be SSH, HTTP, ICMP, whatever it is. Create security group. Security group also created. Means this is done. Now we have to deploy this VM and we have to access them. Okay, let us create these 3 VMs and put it in a 3 different subnets. Okay, where to go? Go to AWS, go to EC2, now it is important, this is a little different in the previous session. Go to this running instance. Okay, launch instance. Okay, I will choose this image, that is default Amazon Linux image. Select. Okay, I'll select this free type. So number of instance 1. See here. Now in the previous sessions, we have attached our instances to the default VPC. But here we want to attach our server in this VPC, in the created VPC, that is Infosys VPC. In this VPC, we have created these 3 subnets. In which subnet we want to place? In this first subnet we want to place. Okay. In the previous session, what we did, in the default VPC, in the default subnet, we have placed everything. Okay. So go to network here. This is default and this is VPC. So click on this Infosys VPC. In this we have 3 subnets are placed. Which subnets? The 3 subnets are listed. I want to place it in a first subnet. First availability zone. That is in this web server subnet I want to place. Where is this web server? It is in this US1A data center. Okay. Here this is auto assign public IP enable. You have to enable this so that an IP public IP will be active, and remaining keep everything a default. Add the storage. I'll use this default storage. Add some tag here. Now this is Infosys web server. Okay. Next, select the security group. Already we have created the security group in Infosys. I'll select this. Review and launch. Here you are getting this warning. Your instance configuration is not eligible for the free tier because we are creating our own VPC and we have attached it to our own internet gateway. Means the internet gateway is also chargeable. That's why it is not free. For this, some charges will be applicable. Okay, don't worry about these charges. It is very minimal. Okay, launch. You have to select the key pair also. I'm selecting this existing key pair test1. Launch. So that is going to be launched. Okay, now Infosys web server is created. You can see its description here, where it is available and all. The IP address is attached. One private IP address is given to this web server. You can see the range here 10.1.1.241. Why it is 10.1.1.241? Because the subset IP address that we have assigned is 10.1.1.0. That's why all the IP addresses, all the virtual machine that you place in the subnet, first subnet will have range 1 dot 1 dot 255, something like bit 1 dot. It will start from this one, and this 251, 251, whatever it is, that will be assigned to this. Okay, let us create one more instance that we will place it now. So far what we did, this is created in this subnet, there in this available zone. Now we will create this application server VM. We will place it in this data center 1B. Okay, and we will attach it to this subnet. That's it. How? Launch it, select. Okay, I'll take this. Okay, here you have to take care in Infosys VPC in 1B location in the subnet app subnet. So in the 1B data center available zone, you can have n number of subnets. But in which subnet? In this app subnet I am going to create. Okay. Next, auto enable API. Next, I'll use the default size. I'll add the tag here. What is that? This is Infosys application server I will write. Okay. Select this existing. Okay. Infosys security group is selected. Attach it. Again, it is not free. Select the key pair. Launch it. It is going to be launched. Okay. Next, I will create one more instance. You can see here, you can see this detail. It is going to be created in this where 1B location. Where it is coming. So once it is created, you will get the details. What is the location and all. Okay. So here it is in one VPC, Infosys VPC. Okay. Okay. Next, we will create one more. Same. I will use. Go here and select VPC, and this one I will place it in this 1C available to join. Enable it. I'll use the default size. Add the tag here. It is not compulsory, but better to write it for our understanding. So this database server, and you have to select this security group. I'll use this security group, Infosys security group. So view and launch. Again, it is also not free. Okay, select the key pair, private key pair. Okay, I'm using the same key pair for all these systems. Okay, view instance. So now 3 instances are ready. Okay, now we have to access these 3 instances. First, we will connect to this web server. What is the public IP? This thing. Okay, so for what happened? So this is created VPC, created this subnet, and created this virtual machine. Each virtual machine is attached to its own zone. Okay, database server is attached in this subnet, which is there at data center 1C. Application server is placed in this subnet, which is placed at 1B. Web server is placed in this subnet, which is placed in this data center 1A. Now within this, they can communicate each other properly. Let's see. But we have to access these servers from the outside network also. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So first we will connect to this web server. What is the public IP? This one. So Control C. I will connect it to this. I will create one more. Okay. Okay. Now we have connected to our Amazon Linux to AMI instance. Okay. You can ping to the another instance also. Okay. I will connect from this web server. Now what we did, we have connected from the outside the network, right? See, from our outside network, we have connected here. As SSH port is enabled, that's why we could connect to this web server. Okay. So now how it is happened? First, our connection is reached to this internet gateway. Okay. In the internet gateway, we have defined a traffic rule in the routing table. We have defined 0.0.0.0.0 means from any other network. Okay. So it is allowing. Once you go here, it is a routing table will be there. Okay. First it will check from where it is coming. It is coming from the outside the network. So which subnet it has to divert. That already we have attached in our routing table. Okay. As per the routing table, it will be get connected to that particular subnet. Okay. See here. See, when you access through this public IP, it will be first redirected to this 10.1.1.241. Means if you connect through this, the packet will internally it will be converted to this 10.1.1.241. Which machine is having this 10.1.241 web server? So your request will be go to that web server. Okay. Similarly, we will connect it to the another machine. Okay. This is a web server, and we will connect it to the application server. Let's start application server. What is the IP of application server? This is application server. Which IP is this thing? So you are connecting to this. So your routing table, it will be your request will be now converted to this 10.1.2.151. Whether any route is there defined in the routing table, it is already defined. Yes. Yeah, it is also connected. Okay, now this is web server machine, web server instance. Next, this is a virtual machine which is created in the second subnet, that is application server subnet. Now I will whether these two will be get communicated or not. Yes, this will be absolutely communicated. How to do that? Ping 52.203.140.50. See, now this web server is connecting with this application server. Okay, let's connect to this machine. Ping, what is that? Sorry. Ping 34.227.21.20. Not 20. Okay. See, now both are communicating. So now this machine is replying there 34 to 27. You can see this machine. Okay, this machine getting response from this 52. It is getting response from this 34. Okay, this is what VPC and subnetting. In a similar way, we can communicate with the other subnet virtual machine also. No problem. Okay, so now this is okay. Now I'm exiting from this. Exit. I'm coming out from this also. Okay. Fine. So for what we did, this portion we have completed. Okay. Similarly, we have created this portion also. Okay. I will create only this TCS VPC and I will place one subnet here and I will try to communicate. I will try to establish communication between this web server and this web server, that is TCS web server and Infosys web server. I will place this TCS web server in the same data center and I will try to establish the communication between them. Okay. And I will place one more web server in this data center only. I'll try to establish the communication between any other system. Okay. This should not be. Communication between these two should not happen. These two should not happen. But within this, they should communicate each other. Fine. Let us see that. So I'll go to this. I'm going to create one more VPC for TCS. Go to VPC. And go to your VPC. Okay, Infosys is already there. I'll create new VPC. New name tag. I'll give it as okay. I will stop this session here, and in the next session we will continue this same. In the next video we will continue the same. Okay, that TCS VPC I will create it and I will show how we cannot communicate between the TCS and Infosys. Let us see in the next video.